Mike McCool here with the Royal Examiner. I'm at Warren County High School, and today we've been talking to DECA students about their state competition experience and now their expectations of going to national. And these 20 students, and of course the ones that didn't place, there was quite a few.
We had 43 that went.
43 students went to the state conference, which is like unheard of percentage-wise. That's almost like what, 95% of your class, or
Well,
I mean, of the DECA students.
we actually have 59 student members this year, which is the largest we've had ever since I've been here, and when I got here in 2016. We actually, the year before I came here, there was no DECA chapter here.
Wow.
And our first year, we had 13 students, and all 13 went to state conference that year. Some of them very apprehensive about going.
Yes, I
it was
can
like, what am I getting myself into? But and that number has grown and has grown and has grown. I mean, this is 59 students, and then in Virginia, they also count alumni members as part of the chapter and professional members, which you're a professional member. And the number, we actually have 88 membership total. This number of students that we've got this year at Warren County in our DECA chapter is the largest I've ever had as a single advisor. Now, I've been in other schools where I've been one of a team of advisors, but this is the largest, and the number has grown every single year. In fact, this year, well, the 43 students that I took to state conference this year was the largest group of students that I'd taken to a state conference as the sole advisor of the school. And these 20 kids, these 19, 20 kids that are going, it's actually 19 because someone couldn't make it, but because of other, not because they couldn't afford it, but because it was a case where I've got other things I've got to do, and I was like, that's fine. It's an opportunity.
Sure. It is.
It's an opportunity, and you can either choose to take advantage of the opportunity. It's a personal choice. So, but the 19 students I've got going this year, that's the largest number that I've ever had go to a national DECA conference in the 25 years that I've been a DECA advisor, as a single advisor. And I tell people this all the time. People in Front Royal and Warren County don't realize just how great the students are in this school, or in this community. I mean, I literally say, I just point in a direction, and I get out of their way, because if I don't, they're going to run me over. You saw some of them today. If I'd gotten in their way, I'd have skid marks all over me because they were going hot.
They're ready to go.
They're ready to go, and that says a lot about their community. That says a lot about their work ethic, their teamwork skills, because the teams that got on stage, I mean, they poured their hearts and soul into these projects, and it showed. And I will not be surprised, Mike. I honestly will not be surprised if one or more of these teams don't wind up on stage in Atlanta on April 26th. I will not be surprised.
That'll be great.
I'll be an emotional mess, but I won't be surprised.
But you could see the difference from, we've been working with these students over, since school really has started, and even some again last year. You can see the progress that they've made, just a short little conversation with them. And they've all realized that this is what they need to move to the next level in their education and their life as they're going forward. They know, they've all mentioned the public speaking side, but there's the report writing, there's the evaluation, there's, people are not just standing up there doing it for 5 minutes. This is months-long project that comes all together in one little 10-minute block. That they do this in. It's a great experience, and I know you've worked with all of them. They all have different kind of projects, but the one thing I noticed, the common theme was team building and learning the procedures of how it takes to get from point A to point Z.
And a lot of that fits into the style that I use for instruction for everybody in the marketing classes here. Is I use a a teaching technique known as project-based learning.
Oh, I mentioned that to the wall. Oh, they love it. They love it.
And it's like what we do in the real world.
Sure.
We don't, when you and I were in school, we always did a project. A teacher got up there and taught, these are this is the agricultural products coming from Virginia. And then we had to make a poster. We did a project at the end to show what we had learned. 6 months later, you're not going to remember what was on that poster, maybe.
Right.
Okay. So, but in talking with people in the workforce, business owners, operators, managers, talking with people, and production, not just in business but in everything, it says that teamwork is one of those soft skills that they need to learn in the classroom. They need to learn in the school. Well, how are you going to teach teamwork? Like you were going to lecture about,
Right. You have to do it.
And you have to work. And so the project-based learning is all about working through a project, stopping at various places along the way, reflecting, self-evaluation, evaluating this, making the adjustments, making the edits, the rewrites, the things you need to do, having the people that you work with also have their input and their evaluation, and at the end you have a final product. Well, the final product for these kids is what they presented down in Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
So I guess it works.
It works. Even just going to the nationals or going to state, even if you never placed, that's a good learning experience, and seeing what, watching the other groups and think, oh, well, we could have done that, or maybe we should, it's just like you learn by just watching sometimes.
And that's like the thing like Brianna was talking about.
Right.
And there's another student that, they made the mistake of telling me they wanted to be a chapter officer.
Right.
In the future.
Guess where that got them, right?
Well,
They're going to Atlanta.
You're going to Atlanta. But I mean, they both had done projects and and their presentation scores were really good. So what I did with them was I said, okay, the Emerging Leader Series, one of the things is elevate. And one of the themes is elevate. And that's for how to elevate your chapter to the next level. That's where they're going.
Right.
And I mean, these workshops that DECA Inc. puts on, National DECA puts on, are unbelievable. I mean, they are high. They bring in some high-powered people from the business industry to lead them through this. It's not Joe Teacher from the Texas Association. These are some high flying
real world experience.
Exactly.
Now, the community supports your DECA program here pretty well. Of course, Plug National Media Services does a lot of work with you over the years, but tell us some of the other businesses in town that.
Well, one of the things that Virginia DECA does every year is and it's a very small number, they recognize what's known as a Friend of Virginia DECA, and it's the local chapters that will nominate people, business partners or people within their home community. Well, we nominated Will Huck from CNC Frozen Trees, and he is an official Friend of Virginia DECA because of the mentoring that he's done with these kids, because of his support with our SBE, the DECA tailgaters. He's been a judge at district competition before, so I mean, he's done a lot to help our program, and he's turned me, has pointed me to some people in the community to go talk to about various things when those issues came up, and as a result of that, I wasn't the one to select him. I mean, to be honest with you, you and Will and Christine Costello with Farm Bureau and Heather Clatterbuck with United Bank are all recognized back in November as official business partners of our chapter. And so I asked my officers, I said, okay, you've got 4 business partners. Virginia DECA does this award. Which one of these we only allow one nominee a year. Which business partner would you like to nominate? And you did get a couple of votes.
I got a couple.
You got a couple
votes.
of votes.
Right,
you got a couple of votes, but they
when you're competing against Crazy Willie, now you can't.
There is no competition.
There is no competition.
No. Not unless you're also another stable or something. I don't know. Anyway, but they, the majority of the officers, they wanted to nominate him, so, and the advisor is the one that has to do the nomination. So I put all that together, and basically I put everything in there that we recognized when we met and identify him as an official business partner.
Right.
And we're sitting there, and I never got an email or anything from anybody from Virginia DECA. So now, I'm sitting there looking at the screen. All of a sudden, I see William Huck, CNC Frozen Trees. I go like, I don't know who, 5 of my kids immediately got the cell phone, snapped off a picture, and had it texted to him before we walked out of there. 20 minutes later, I was like,
right.
So I mean, it just shows the gratitude that they have for what you all do for us. I mean, and for those of you out, I'll just let you know, Mike has done has helped us with mentoring. The Wildcats Live, you were a major force with that, helped us do that. He does our graphics for us. He also helps with listening to the students' practice presentations before they go to state conference, these projects, and gives them insight and gives them critique on that. So
I give him all the advice, but Rick goes back and says, forget all he told you, because
that's you're professional field. I'm just here. I just unlock the door in the morning. But I mean, the business community has been very, very supportive. A lot of the organizations have been very, very supportive, and like the Rotary, both Warren County Rotary and Front Royal Rotary, the Kiwanis Club has been very supportive. If I start naming businesses, I'm going to forget somebody, and somebody's going to get offended. So I'm just going to say the business community as a whole has embraced this chapter. They're more than willing to help out with and that says a lot.
Sure.
Because I've been in some communities before where there's like, well, go talk to the school board. I ain't got time. I don't have time to listen to all this. So
Right.
That speaks a lot of that. Now you can also help us out, because on Saturday, April the 2nd, we are actually having delivery that day of barbecue, half pound of pork, Carolina style pork. Trust me, we wrote the book on barbecue.
Right, I know you have, that's right.
Okay, or 2 chicken leg quarters, $15. And if you want to email me, rgardner at wcps.k12.va.us, place your order. You can COD, pay at the time of delivery. I just need to make sure I know how much food to order. And Carolina Dreamin' is going to be doing the barbecuing. If you've been to some of the local festivals, you know who Carolina Dreamin' is. You're looking at it.
Yeah, and your students have worked that.
I hire my students to work. I mean, that also gives them hands-on experience, and also puts them in the forefront in the community, so the people in the community can see high school students doing positive things.
Right. I know they've used your equipment on some of these community events as well,
Yep.
and they've learned that, all the steps it takes, from buying and selling and just A to Z. It's a learning project, and that's how you do it.
And the key thing that they learn more than anything else is the customer service aspect. And again, that's one of those soft skills areas that business leaders and business people have told me since I first started teaching back in 19.
Right. Yeah.
And they've said that's a soft skill area they need to know. They need to know.
You learn that by doing.
They need to know what our work ethic is. They need to know what customer service standards are. And it's not something you can teach, it's something you have to learn, but it's not something that you can stand in front of a classroom and lecture about. You just can't do it.
Right. Well, it sounds great. You've done a great work here. So far I haven't found anybody that doesn't like it. So your students, all your class seems to be very pleased with what you do and how they're perceived in their own school community, and they seem excited about it. And that's, in today's world, that's a real plus.
Absolutely.
Is to get our students excited about learning. They don't realize they're learning, do they? They haven't told them that, have they?
No.
But they admitted that their public speaking skills and their team skills and things have gone up, and that they like it. And when she said she wants to be a DECA chapter leader, that's something that really that says a lot about someone. and they have their plan planned out, and they can change it a little bit, but they at least have an idea of a direction where they're going, and that's good to do that.
Well, they will all tell you, you know, that, yeah, don't get me wrong, I like to win, and I like for my students to win, but they will all tell you that when it comes to pressure to get on stage or to win, I don't put it on, because and I always say, at the end of the day, I'm gonna ask you 3 questions. Number 1, did you have fun doing it? Number 2, did you learn something from it? And the third thing is, would you do it again? And if your answer to all 3 questions is yes,
It's a win.
That's been worthwhile.
Yep. Well, Rick, we really appreciate all you do for our community and our students. Keep that up. Next year, you're going to have even more students in DECA. We know that, don't you?
Well, we came back from state conference and I had 4 or 5 kids within 3 days after we came back. Mr. Gardner, I'm joining DECA next year. Like, who are you? So I mean, it's like, it's
the word spreads. Well, they see it's
the train's rolling.
Well, you know, they see the enjoyment and they say, you know, I want part of that. I want to be a part of that. People want to associate with things that are good and positive and winning. I mean, they want to do that. So keep up the good work, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll be here to support you on the back end. And
I know you will.
And
I appreciate it.
along with everyone else in our community.
And we really appreciate you.
Yeah. Again, keep up the good work.
Thank you.